Hi guys, and welcome back to Note Taking, where we teach you how to make effective notes so that you can study a lot easier later. Now this is already part 3, which means we have 2 other parts about great note-taking strategies that may work really well for you. Those are Cornell notes and outline notes. You can find some additional information about them in our previous videos all about this. But today we're going to be talking about graphic organizers. Graphic organizers are really helpful for visual people. Although our last 2 kinds of notes have been a lot of just patterns and just straight flow writing, a good graphic organizer can be really helpful to quickly find information and to map out ideas for all you visual people. And there are a lot of different kinds. So there's flowcharts, concept maps, T-charts, Venn diagrams, sequence charts, idea webs, all stuff you've probably made in the past. And obviously they each serve their own purposes and can be used for different things. T-charts are usually comparisons, or they can also be used for things like Cornell notes that we made earlier. Meanwhile, sequence charts are going to be used for sequences, as it would imply, which are processes or any kinds of related ideas, such as the most common example you probably would have ever seen is a life cycle in a biological class. And then there's Venn diagrams. These are used to compare 2 ideas that have some sort of overlap, or even sometimes 3 ideas. I'm sure you've seen the 3 ones. And that way you can compare the similarities and the differences between the 2 ideas. Today we're going to be talking about main idea webs and concept maps. They kind of play into each other but can look a little bit different. Now, you can start out with just a regular piece of paper or online. I'll admit that it is a little bit harder to make on Google Docs just because docs are set up to just be straight words, and these are going to be more visual patterns. Now, just like every other kind of notes, you're going to want to start with a relevant title that goes right at the very top, and for these, you're also going to put it right in the very middle. This is going to be what everything else of your notes stems from. So you want it to be big and in the middle so that you can connect all your ideas back to it and make sure all the notes you're taking are relevant. Now, the next thing you're going to pick is the date at the top and your class period. You want to include these on all the notes that you take so that you can keep track of when you took the notes to make sure they're relevant for whatever you're studying for, as well as your class period to make sure that you can keep all your notes organized between all the classes you have to take. And it's helpful for if your notes ever get lost, people know exactly who to return it to. You might also want to add your name for that one. And then we're going to start with main ideas. So you can draw as many ideas as you're getting from your slideshow or from your textbook. Wherever you're getting this note information, there's usually going to be a lot of main ideas that all would connect back to your title. Now, we started with 5 on this document, and the next thing you're going to do is extend upon these main ideas in more boxes called secondary ideas. These may connect back to your main idea, they may connect between multiple main ideas, and there may be many secondary ideas coming from one main idea. And it's going to include a little bit more specific information, all connecting back to the main ideas that it is physically connected to. And then you can extend on that even more with specific details such as names, dates, processes, words, etc. These can be all sorts of specific stuff that you want to keep track of. Now, why don't we look at a practice real quick? This is an excerpt called The Basic Economic Problem. It's a marketing excerpt that talks about the different kinds of problems that we have in society, such as scarcity, and dealing with how to deal with everyone's needs and wants in a very complex world. There's going to be a lot of ideas in here, a lot of definitions, so it can be really helpful to make sure that words that are defined, you write down those definitions, and you make sure that the word is bolded so that you know what word you've defined. All right, good luck.